What's going on, guys? It is Friday night talk tonight, chat talk. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. Hopefully, everybody can hear me. Give me a thumbs up or whatever and let me know you can hear me. And we are going to get this party started. We got a few people in here. We got 11 people in here. Everybody good? Good evening, Chris. What's going on? We're going to give everybody a few minutes. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. For some reason, my videos are not playing. So that was the reason for the holdup. So I apologize because normally you guys know I start with a video, but my videos aren't playing. So we're just gonna start straight from here. So what's up, everybody? I'll give a couple of shout outs. Jay Strongbow, glad to have you in here. Ralph Rosema, Dirt Devil Detecting, always glad to have you here. Digging Buddy, Brady's World, Bells, LC Hunt, glad to have you in here. Of course, T and Sharpshooter, my good buddy. Michael Coley, my good buddy. Bells, as always, she's super fantastic, great supporter of the channel. We appreciate you, Bells. Ralph Rosema. Hopefully I'm getting everybody. We're gonna wait a few minutes and see how many people we can get in here and get rolling. It is Friday night, and I've had a long work week, but I've been able to put up a couple of videos, and hopefully some of y'all have seen that. Lance Peterson, glad to have you in here. Jason Brock, what's up? Bobby Short, as always, glad to have you here, buddy. Digging Buddy, glad to have you in here. Again, hit that like button. Those like buttons help me out with the algorithm. So anything you guys do with that, that's greatly appreciated. And naturally, somebody's calling me right in the middle of all of this, but that's okay. That's all right. We can handle that. Got a couple things we're going to be talking about tonight, but we're gonna give. Sharpshooter says he's done. Hit that, smash that like button. We're going to talk about a couple of different things tonight. We've got a new machine in town, which I'm going to show you guys in just a few minutes. We're going to talk about the XPDeus 2, naturally, as always. And we're also going to be looking at the Xterra Pro, just talking a little bit about it, what you guys are seeing from it, and so on, if anybody's got one. Knox Digger, glad to have you in here. Calabash should be back sometime soon. He's just got a lot of family things going on right now, and he's trying to take care of that. But hopefully he'll be back soon. So I'm sort of filling in. I'm not Calabash, but I'll do my best. I'll do my best. Hey, Ricky Bennett, glad to have you in here. Really appreciate you guys being here tonight and joining in on the broadcast. Share the broadcast too with some other people. Love to have as many people in here as we can get. We are going to have some guests that are going to start coming on, probably starting sometime next week. I've got a couple of people lined up, and I'll start putting up some things and showing you guys when those guests are going to be on, and we're going to be talking with them, and hopefully you guys will enjoy that as well. I did put up a couple of videos. I went to the beach last Sunday. Hopefully you guys have checked those videos out, and hopefully you were able to come up with your own opinions for what those videos were showing. But hopefully those help some people out. If you have a XPDeus 2, naturally, it's going to tell you some ways that you might be able to find that big gold ring on the beach that maybe you've been looking for. So definitely check that video out. I put up another video today for you guys that are MindLab Manicore users. It is about the Manicore. It's basically the same sort of test that I did with the XPDeus 2, sort of showing you what those two programs can do. So yeah, check those videos out if you haven't already. And I know not everybody on here is a beach hunter. But if you do come to the beach, or if you are a beach hunter, maybe some of those things will help you out. And Sharpshooter is the one who put me on a couple of those things. So kudos to Sharpshooter. I appreciate him. And again, he put me on a couple of those videos and gave me some of the ideas for those videos too. So I took those machines down to the beach and I used them and showed y'all what was going on with those machines. So again, we've got 17 in here. We normally have a little more. I know it was a little bit last minute. I'm trying to stay on the schedule of 7:30 on Friday nights, and we may have another live stream coming up next week, maybe during the middle part of the week. But I'll let you guys know. There will be something that'll be put up, and you guys can go from there. So, with that being said, thank you. I appreciate that, Chris. There was a lot of time that was put into those test videos. I'm used to just going out and hunting, but every now and then I will do a test video. I spent all day last Sunday making those videos. So I appreciate you guys watching them. Go check them out. They are pretty cool, and they do give you some ideas about some things, maybe some ways that you can help. It can help you find a big gold ring on the beach. So that was the whole purpose behind it. And again, thanks Sharpshooter for those great ideas on those videos. Bells, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ralph. I appreciate that. Chris, thank you too as well. I really appreciate that. Again, a lot of time was put into that, and a lot of video was put into that too. So again, I appreciate you guys giving me those props. Again, if you feel the need, you like something you see, you can give a super chat or super thanks. I would always greatly appreciate that. Everything that is donated does go straight back to the channel. So again, I appreciate you guys. Hey, Brad, glad to have you in here. Iffy, glad to have you in here. Iffy might be able to help me out with some of these things I'm going to talk about tonight. So yes, glad to have Iffy. Glad to have T and Sharpshooter in here. A lot of very, very, very smart people in here, and a lot of very knowledgeable people on metal detecting. So, and Michael said that today or yesterday was actually my birthday. Sharpshooters is tomorrow, so wish him a happy birthday. And we both greatly appreciate it. Sharpshooter and I are 20, 29, 39 Sharpshooter. Is that correct? So we're 29, 39 years young. So, hey, make it work. Carson, Chris, glad to have you in. As a lot of people are starting to funnel in. It's been an interesting week. I've had a busy week at work. Of course, you guys know I am a school teacher, so teaching kids history all week, that can be just as much that can be just as much work as making these videos and metal detecting. So a couple of geezers, that's what he said. So, hey, Joe, glad to have you in here. Appreciate it. Thanks for the happy birthday wishes. Thank you, Brad. I appreciate it. I did have a great day yesterday, and I actually went and picked up a couple of metal detecting things I'm going to show you guys in just a few minutes. Sharpshooter says he will be 61 years young. Great, Sharpshooter. Happy birthday. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. Brad, thank you so much. We got 26 in the house. Aggie Hall, new person. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And again, we always appreciate those birthday wishes. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about today, and we're gonna start with talking a little bit about something new that I just got in. And I kept saying that, I was going to try to branch out a little bit. I do, you guys all know, I love the XPDeus 2. It's one of my favorite machines. But I also know that there are a lot of you that may tune into these live streams, and you may be using a different machine, whether it be the XPDeus 2, whether it be the Nokta Macro Legend, or the Nokta Legend, not Nokta Macro Legend, but the Nokta Legend. You might be using the MindLab Manicore. You might be using, a Garrett Apex. You might be using any of these other machines, but there are so many good machines that are out on the market today. And, I just feel like, if I'm going to, have this channel and I'm going to do live streams, I need to show some of these other machines, not just the XPDeus 2. And I know a lot of us on here are XPDeus 2 users, but I have gotten a Nokta Legend in, and I did want to show it. I did want to talk about it, and it was sent to me by Nokta. So I did want to at least, show the machine, talk a little bit about it, get you guys' opinions on it, what you think, what you've seen, maybe if you've used one, maybe you have one, I don't know. But I did want to go through and bring those things up, and I'm going to show that machine in just a minute. Good evening, Michael Workman, and let's take a quick look at the new and improved Nokta Legend. So I just got the machine in, and I apologize, my camera might be a little bit, and I did get the cover for it, and this is the new Legend. And what they've done is, of course, you guys can see it's got the full carbon graphite shaft on it now, which I think is nice. One thing I do like about this machine, I do like the design of it. I like the cam locks that they have on it. I went out yesterday and I bought the LG 24 coil. And I've always loved a 5x9 elliptical coil. And I went out and bought it because I do want to use it in some of my heavy iron sites just to see how those go. Thank you, Thigh66. Thigh66 says he loves his Legend. Curious as to my opinion. My opinion is I had a Legend back during the summer and used it for a few weeks, and then basically sort of pushed it to the side and eventually sold it because I thought it was really heavy. With the new carbon graphite shaft that they've added to this machine, I think it's made a big improvement on the weight. Now, I'm not saying it is lighter, and but it still feels a little tad nose heavy, especially if you got the bigger coil. But they sent me the 5x9. They sent me the LG30, the new coil. I've also got the original coil that comes with it, and I've got the 6-inch coil. So I have 4 coils with this Legend. So I'm interested in testing it out, and I think that with all of these improvements that they've made to this machine, I'm really looking forward to using it again. And of course, like I said, I got the little cover and everything to go with it, and I've played around with it a little bit in the yard. Tomorrow, Michael Coley and I are actually taking this machine out, and we're going to put it to the test. And of course, it does have the new 1.11 software on it, or the 111 software on it, which I think is going to be huge. They have made a lot of improvements to it, so I'm interested to see how it performs. For those of you that have Legends, I'm just curious. I know that Thigh66 said that he had a Legend, or she had a Legend. I don't know if it's a boy or girl, but I'm interested. Is there anybody else that's on here that actually owns a Legend? So I'll wait for a second. And we'll see who responds. But I know that the Legend had a lot of issues early on when it was released. And of course, they have really, really, really worked hard at improving that machine and trying to get that machine up to speed. So Dirt Devil Detecting, you have a Legend. Great. What do you think of the Legend, Dirt Devil Detecting? Yeah. Thigh66 says he has the LG 24. How do you think that LG 24 performs in heavy iron sights, Thigh66? Dirt Devil Detecting says he's had it since the release. Very good. So what are your guys? I mean, you guys have had the machine. I've used it a little bit back during the summer. What do you guys think about the machine based on your observations? What have you seen, and what do you think are the strengths of that machine? So Dirt Devil Detecting says, I like we'll see what else he says, the LG 24 and the LG 30. Yes, and I have the LG 30. I'll show y'all that coil too, just to give you an idea. It's a 12 by 9 coil. Here it is. You guys can see it. But there's the LG 30 coil, a really nice looking coil at 9 inches. It's really nice. So the LG 30 is a good one. The LG 24, which I just showed you, which is on my machine, both of those coils I think are very good coils. And then, of course, you've got a couple of other options. You've got the 6-inch coil, which is right here. And then I've also got the original LG 28 coil. So both of those are also in the arsenal for this machine. So again, it's I think it's going to be a really, really, really good machine. And with the options and things that they give you with this machine, I think it's really going to be a big improvement, especially with the new software. So yes, I'm going to try it. I'm going to be using it on the beach a good bit. So you guys will be able to see that. I've heard a lot of people have gotten a lot of good results. Maybe Dirt Devil Detecting or Thigh 66 can respond to that. I haven't used it on the beach but one time, and that was back during last summer. And with all the improvements and all the updates, I'm really looking forward to using it on the beach as well. Thigh 66 says, in New England, highly mineralized. As long as your balance is great, hot rocks are an occasional problem, but not a concern. Well, my beach is pretty mild, Thigh 66. So I'm looking forward to using this thing on the beach, and I'm hoping that it's going to perform really well. I know it's very similar to the Equinox 800, but I think they've really improved things to the point to where I think it is going to be able to compete in those areas. So, hey, George, how are you doing? Glad to have you on board. Dirt Devil Detecting says, I have no complaints with the Legend. I think it's easy to use for the most part. What I like the most is the ability to custom notch any VDI you want, not just batches. Very good. Yes. And I played around with it a little more today. I did look at the tone breaks and adjusting the tone volumes, and I looked at all of those things. And it really does have a lot of really good features. The only problem that I saw with it is just the user interface. And I know Dirt Devil Detecting saying it's pretty easy to use, and it is easy to use. But to get to some of those sub menus, those can be quite tricky in some cases. I love the idea of the vibrating handle. I love the flashlight deal. I love all of that. I think those are all great features that they have on this machine. You can adjust you can notch, you can adjust the audio response. It's a multi-frequency detector. You've got 3 multi-frequency settings that you can choose, M1, M2, and M3 now. You've got salt stability. You've got an iron filter on there. So you've got a lot of really cool features for a machine that you can get for $599. So there's no other the Apex would be the only other machine in that price category. But I do think that this machine is maybe a little bit better than the Apex. So, hey, Digging Daryl, glad to have you in here. Appreciate you being here. And so the Legend, again, the improvements, the new software updates, the new carbon graphite shaft, the new LG30 coil, the LG24. I think all of those things are things that are really going to help this machine out. Good evening, Five. Glad to have you on board. We appreciate you being here tonight. We're just basically talking about the Legend tonight. And we've started off with talking about the Nokta Legend and some of the improvements that they have made to this machine. And so that's where we started tonight. And hopefully you guys that have used the Legend, you're seeing a lot of good results out of this machine as well. So I am going to be showing it. I am going to be using it over the next few weeks out on the beach. I'm going to use it on a relic site. Going to use it in a couple of different places. So again, I look forward to using it and testing it and seeing how this machine is actually performing. So we'll see how much of an improvement Nokta has actually made to this machine. So again, Dirt Devil Detecting says Deus 2 is my go-to right now. Jump to the Legend for tot lots right now. I don't have the smaller coil for the Deus 2. Yeah, well, the smaller coil for the Deus 2 right now is the 9-inch, which brings us to the next topic of discussion, which will be we are going to talk about the XPDeus 2. And I know a lot of you are anxiously waiting on the update. And Dirt Devil Detecting just brought up a good point. I think that an elliptical coil like the LG24 on the Nokta Legend would be a great coil or a great addition to the Deus 2. The Deus 2 is just such a powerful machine, guys. And hopefully, did anybody get a chance to use the new setup that I proposed last week and that Sharpshooter had sent to me with the single frequency? I did get one message back from a guy that was using this machine up in Virginia. He said he went to a place that he had hunted a bunch of times. He said 4 machines had been over this spot, and he set up that program that Sharpshooter and I had suggested. He modified it a little bit, but he's dug his first Virginia state seal button with that program in a spot that he knows that he has hammered over and over again. And he was super, super, super excited. So, yes, I think that program and that single frequency at 37.4 was the frequency that I was using. Of course, people can modify it to whatever they want. Running that recovery or reactivity at 4 and playing around with the settings a little bit. And I think you can sneak out some more targets in some of those really hunted out spots. So hopefully some of you have gotten the chance to use that program that Sharpshooter and I have sort of modified and came up with. So if you haven't, check out the video. The video is up on my channel. And look at those settings and look at all the buttons I found. It was on a site that we had pillaged with the Equinox, the Deus 2, the MindLab Equinox 800 with the small coil. We ran all sorts of different frequencies in there with all those machines. The Manicore went in there. And then I went in there with the Deus 2 in a single frequency, and I dug 4 buttons. Now, we have dug over 100 buttons off of that site. So it was really, really, really fascinating to see new buttons come out of that site, because I would have never dreamed in a million years that I would have dug 4 more buttons off of that site. That site had just been pillaged. So very good. Dirt Devil Detecting says, I'm going to try it next week to hunt a brand new permission 1700 stagecoach stop with adjacent 9-acre field and a single room schoolhouse. Well, good luck, Dirt Devil Detecting. I hope you find a lot of cool things, and hopefully that program will help you out in some of those spots. And again, some of this may work for you, some of it may not. I have mild soil. It works really good in my soil. So, some of you may have to modify it or adjust it, but just give it a shot, especially on a beat up site, because you just never know. You may find out what I found out, that there's a lot more stuff left in there and it's not hunted out. So definitely. Hey, Random Faucet, glad to have you in here. How is higher or lower frequency? Higher frequencies are generally better in iron, Random Faucet. I think everybody in here would probably agree. Surfside Dan says the 11x13 is awesome coil for the Deus 2. Great coverage depth, pinpointing works well. Good for a larger coil. That was from Digging Daryl. Surfside Dan said he's going to try it tomorrow in North Carolina. Yes, Surfside Dan, you definitely want to give that a shot and give that a try. I think you will find it to work very well. Tomorrow, I'm going to be using that same, what I call the sweeper program. So Sharpshooter and I, or not Sharpshooter and I, Michael Coley and I are going to be using Sharpshooter's program on a site that I've really beat up too down here. So we're looking forward to getting out and using that program. Right. Higher is less falsing. In some cases, yes, but it's better at separation. That's the main reason why that higher frequency is going to do you really good in heavy iron. So higher frequencies definitely help out. James Lettner, glad to have you in here. What's up? Jay Strongbow, I've been running basically Sharpshooter settings for a year, but in sensitive 2 tones, the key in heavy iron is to turn down the sensitivity and low audio gain. Well, yeah, and you can, in some places though, Jay, you can actually get away with actually running the sensitivity even up a little bit higher. I was running at 93 sensitivity, which is pretty high. And I probably could have gotten away with running at 95. So it just depends on your location and it depends on your site. So definitely. Metal detecting with the CZ Kid. Hey, Professor, I put that beach program you gave me to the test regarding the XPDeus 2 on deep silver in my garden. I did post to your Facebook page. Let me know your thoughts. You were thinking of bad coal. Yeah, and CZ Kid, I know I've seen a couple of those videos. One thing I'm going to tell you, I haven't seen you air test that coal, so I'm interested to see because I know you've had a couple of issues with it, but try air testing and let me know. Let me see what the air testing's saying. Are you still getting depth or are you losing depth? That's the one thing that I'm real curious about. And there's our buddy. Look at here, Calabash Digger. Good luck. And he's around. Yes. So Calabash Digger is in the house. Thanks, Calabash, for being here. That's my buddy. That's my pal. You guys know that. That's my ride or die for sure. So glad to have Calabash in here. Again, Sharpshooter says LOCD. What's up? What's up? What's up, Daredevil Detected? So Calabash will be back with us, and like I said, we're slowly working our way back to getting back to the team being together. So I miss my buddy, but hopefully he'll be back real soon. Calabash just left a message. My father-in-law passed away yesterday, so I've been taking care of my family, and he will be back soon. Thanks, Calabash, for sharing that with everybody because, of course, all of us love and miss you, so we hope to see you back in here soon. That's right. The gang is in here. So very good. Glad to have you in here. Thank you. Thank you, Calabash. I'm ready to have you back, buddy. Flying solo sometimes isn't the best. The best in the world for me, but I'm doing the best. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, Dig and Daryl. You're always nice, and thank you for the super sticker. I really appreciate that. Everything that you guys donate does go back to my channel. So again, any of those super chat and super stickers, that just goes to a camera. It might go to a new machine, a new coil. It's going to things that I can show you guys that I think will help everyone in here. So again, thank you, Dig and Daryl, for your support. I appreciate it. And Calabash said thanks to everyone in here. So again, Calabash is going through a little rough time right now with some family issues. Father-in-law passed away, but hopefully he will be back really soon, and he and I will be together, and we'll be out hunting and back on the live streams together too. So I'm just trying to carry the torch until we can both get back and doing our thing. So we're looking forward to doing that real soon. Anybody got any other questions? I know the update, and the only thing I can tell you about the update, and Sharpshooter's on here. If he was on here a few minutes ago, Calabash is on here right now. All those guys really, they don't know either. We're all in wait mode. And all I can say is, hopefully soon. You would think, though, it's been a year and a half, so hopefully this update should be coming. And of course, we hope that it will be sometime soon. That's all I can tell you. I know a lot of us have a lot of things on our wish list for that XPDeus 2 update, but hopefully it will be coming soon. Calabash says to talk tomorrow. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Calabash, for being in here and popping in. We appreciate it. T and Sharpshooter's been groundhog hunting lately. That's yes. If you've watched any of his channel, check out Sharpshooter. Sharpshooter's got some amazing stuff and content up there. But as far as the XPDeus 2 update, nothing new to report. We're hoping that maybe sometime soon. I hope so, but we'll see. So just be patient. You want it right. You don't want them to release it too soon, and then there'll be bugs and things like that in it. So I know XP's working hard on it, and I know that they will get those. They will get that update out when it's ready. So just be patient. I do feel like it's going to be worth it. So hang in there, guys, and I think it will be coming really, really, really soon. So CZ Kid says, I hope the XPDeus 2 update deals a bit with deep iron, still getting fooled by the deep stuff. Yeah, and deep iron, that's a problem with everybody. It's going to ring up high. It just is right now. And you guys know that if you swing over a piece of big iron and it's deep, you're going to get that 89. You might even get a 91 or 92 signal over big iron. And sometimes that's hard to distinguish. Usually after the first few scoops, though, you can sort of start to tell. So just be aware of that. And you can try some other things too. You can flip to some other programs and test those things out as well. WTTX says, "Hey, T and Sharpshooter." Yeah, he does. I'm sure he does. Sharpshooter is the man. Old Colt. Surfside Dan said, "Tell them to hurry up. Beach season is right around the corner." And I believe that this update really is going to make a big improvement on the beach. We'll see what happens with it, but I think the XPDeus 2 update is going to be a good one, and I think it's going to help us out as far as on the beach and doing some other things. So Sharpshooter says he carries a WTX. I'm a rifle dude. Okay, Sharpshooter. XP needs better communications with their U.S. customers. Nokta's kicking ass in that department. Nokta's good with some of their stuff. They lean towards the customer. But I will say this about XP. I think XP loves to. They want to make sure that it's right. And again, I said this just a few minutes ago. They're not going to release it unless they know that it is perfect almost. So just be patient with it. And again, Nokta, I still believe they released their machine too soon. And they may not admit to that, but I do like what they've got out at this point. But why didn't they release it that way? Why did it take all these updates and all these other things that have happened to get that machine at that point? But I think the machine that they have in place right now is the machine that probably should have been released. That's just my honest opinion. But I do believe that they've got it to where it's pretty dialed in at this point. And we'll see. I said I look forward to using it. I can't wait. So again, yeah, it takes time. It takes time with any of these updates. Of course, they got to update all the software to the servers. They've got to, of course, they've gone through all the tests. The engineers have to test the things that the testers have sent. They're double checking their things. So it's just a long process to go through a lot of these things to get these things ready to send out to the public. And again, guys, y'all want it right, regardless of how long it takes. And again, XP is usually really good when they release an update. It is a worthwhile update, and it is an update that usually ends up helping our machine. So just be patient. I think you guys will appreciate it once you actually get it. And again, hopefully it will be soon. That's what I'm hoping for. So Thigh66 says, "I found a barber dime with Sharpshooter years ago. Much of the time, luck is just part of the digging. So those who can afford what they can, you will find good things and enjoy this awesome hobby." So true. So true. Guys, these machines this day and time, they're not that far apart. As much as we like to think they are, in a lot of cases, they're really close, especially on depth. I think we're living in a time where these machines are all pretty comparable in a lot of different ways. Now, there are some that are going to do things that are a little bit better than the other. But when you look at the machines overall that we have on the market this day and time, I think you're just going to find that these machines are pretty comparable in a lot of ways. And we're living in a great time because, again, like I've always said, competition just makes things better for all of us. And whether it's a Nokta Legend, whether it's an XPDeus 2, whether it's a MindLab Equinox, whether it's a MindLab Manicore, whether it's a Garrett Apex, whatever it may be, all of these machines are going to work. And somebody asked me the other day, "Hey, what's the best machine?" Well, the best machine is the one that you know how to use. That's just the way it is. Regardless of what we think, it's the one that you know how to use, and that's going to be the best machine. So take advantage of the machine you have and enjoy it, and go out and find some great things. These conversations that we have about all these different machines, they're all good because all these machines are set up to help us find things. and you'll find something with any of these machines. It's not like there's no machine out there that won't find anything. And whatever your budget is, whatever machine you like, go out and use it. That's the whole thing. So, yes, definitely go out and enjoy yourself. I'm just glad that it's been updatable. Very good. Jason Brock, glad to have you in here. I've had XP for a little over a year now, and it's a powerful machine. Might have some following, but it's the best I've ever had in 40 years of detecting. The update will be a bonus. Yes, I agree, Jason. Jason, the XP is just a very versatile machine. That's the way I like to describe the XP Deus too, because just like we've been talking about going back into a spot and hunting a spot with all these different types of settings. You can set it up so many different ways that you can go back into a spot that you've hunted dozens of times. You can go back with the XPDeus 2 and set it up in a different way or use a different program, and you can go back in there and still find things. And I think that's the amazing thing about the Deus 2 is that its ability to be so versatile and to give you so many options. And once you figure out what those options are and what works on some of these places, it's just going to open up sites more and more for you. So definitely. Jay Strombo says, Teach, you're missing the point. XP needs to send even a blip on what they are working on. If it takes another year, at least we know. Well, I agree, Jay. I mean, I would love to know as much as anybody. And they're just not. I mean, all these companies are like that. They're pretty secretive when it comes to that. And part of it is because there is so much competition. So think of it like that, Jay. They don't want to release something and let the competition find out, or they don't want to say something and the competition finds out, and then they go and try to modify one of their machines or something like that. So part of it is competition. But again, it'll be ready when it's ready, and hopefully it's soon. I'm with you 100%. Yes, Michael says, right. Competition has made them better. So, yeah, all this competition between these companies is great. And all they've done is help us out in every single way. So, Jay, Aggie Hall says, fully agree, Jay. XP still has a contest up from 2 years ago on its US XP site. Yeah, and, that was one thing that when I talked to them at Digstock and sent in a review after Digstock was that, we really, they need to focus more on their U.S. market. I know they do, but I would really like to see them put more of an assertive effort in the U.S. market and to improve some things, better communication, better distribution, better communication. I think they're missing the boat. When I went to Digstock, one of the things that I noticed was the sheer presence of MindLab and even Nokta in some cases. I thought did a really good job of getting their names out there and having all these extra things that XP did not have. And I think they're missing the boat on some of that stuff. They need to realize that this market is the market that's really controlling everything. And they can do a little better, and I really believe they can. So definitely right, Aggie. You and Jay you're totally right. I just think that XP needs to realize it too. And I'm trying to tell them, look, we need to focus on this market. So again, I appreciate you guys' comments. Mark Cuss, glad to have you in here. Hi, guys. He said, but I think the update is going to be great. I think it's going to be some huge improvements. A lot of us have asked for some of those things. I know some of you have asked about full tones. I know we've asked about EMI. We've asked about, beach performance, how it's going to do. And hopefully all of those things are going to get addressed in this update. I don't know what's in the update, but hopefully it's going to be all the things that you guys are wanting. And then when you get it, you're going to say, man, I'm glad I waited for it. And hopefully it'll be very, 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 very soon. So again, I'm looking forward to that update. Let's go on to talk a little bit about, I know that I have shown you guys a little bit about the Xterra Pro. So, what are you guys thinking about the Xterra Pro? I mean, we're all on here, and that machine has been out now for almost a month. And oh, thank you, Dirt Devil Detecting. Xterra Pro for $269. A lot of good things about it. I love that you can use this machine on the beach. I think it opens up the beach to more people than ever before. But there are some things that are not necessarily all roses in Mind land. And of course, we know what some of those issues are, and that's the headphones. You can't get headphones for this thing. So, Mind Lab, they've released all these machines, and now the accessories and the coils and even the distribution of some of these machines has been a really, really, really big issue for Mind Lab. So I'm really interested to see, how fast Mind Lab can catch up, especially with this machine. And this is a hot machine. You could not find this machine in some places. They're slowly starting to trickle in. I know Cabela's has had them. I think Bass Pro Shops have had them. But dealers are really struggling to get this Xterra Pro and the Manicore. So, I'm interested to hear some of you guys and hear your thoughts on some of this too. So let's go on there. Brad Wilson says that he has the Xterra Pro and he is loving it. And I've used it. And, the funny thing was, and if you guys watch my video, the one that I put up today, I was using the Manicore on the beach, and I noticed that the Manicore, and for those of you that have watched it, you'll know what I'm talking about, but I noticed that the Manicore had a bouncy ID on it as well. And so does the Xterra Pro. It doesn't lock in. And I know you guys know this that are Equinox users, but remember how the Equinox would just, it's like a radar beam straight down to the target, and it locks on that target. Whereas the Xterra Pro and even the Manicore, I'm not sure about the 900, 700 because I don't have that machine, but I've noticed that VDI has been a little bit bouncy on some of these new Mind Lab machines. And I'm curious to see if any of you are seeing the same things, if you have those machines and what you're noticing. Lance Patterson says, watch Treasure Outdoors today. He had an Xterra Pro underwater. Yes, I saw that same video, Lance, for a long time with aftermarket wire earbuds in and had no water leak problems. Yes, I saw that exact same video, and that was really great to see. So again, Dirt Devil Detecting says he'd like to try it. Never swung a Mind Lab machine. And I will say this, and I know I've said this before, the Mind Lab machines, especially the audio, I think the audio on these machines are really, really, really good. Now, again, what I have noticed in some of the newer ones is that the ID doesn't seem as stable as the original Equinox for whatever reason. So I don't know whether they're going to address that or what they're going to do with that. But if you watch my video, you'll see what I'm talking about. But it bounces around a good bit, and the Xterra bounces around a good bit. And I've even had people leave comments on my video. Why is that thing bouncing around like that? Well, that's just the way it is. But the audio part of it is excellent. So, for whatever it's worth, and hopefully Mind Lab might address some of that. Mark Cuss says, my buddy who is new to detecting asked me what detector to buy. I told him the new Xterra. He found a gold band the first day on the beach with me. I was pretty impressed with the machine. Right. The Xterra is a powerful machine. I mean, in single frequencies, being able to hunt on the beach, you've got all these different features. You can notch, you can set up tone breaks. I mean, you can do all those things with that machine, and that's just pretty crazy to think about. So the Xterra is a good machine. The only problem they got right now is there's no dang headphones for that machine. You're going to have to buy some sort of wireless transmitter, or you're going to have to come up with something, or you're going to have to use wired headphones, one or the other. But you definitely are struggling with the headphones. I tried to get a pair of headphones yesterday from a dealer. but there's just no luck. There's no headphones for these machines right now. And that's sort of sad because you got this machine out here and everybody's buying it. But what are they doing for headphones? That's the curious thing. So again, Brad said that his is a bit jumpy. Equinox does lock. I have original shipment. I never sell it. Right. The Equinox again, and I used an Equinox for 4 years almost, and I always loved the Equinox when it locked onto a coin or it locked onto a target. And it didn't vary more than a point or two, whereas these machines seem like they bounce around a little bit, but the audio is good. So, if you're just an audio person, it's not bad. If you don't need to go in the water, I think the Vanquish is a great option. I have the 540. Yeah, Randon. And if you look back there behind me, I have the 542, and I like the Vanquish. And I found a lot of cool stuff. I've got a great video up on my channel where I'm using the small elliptical coil on my Vanquish, and I dig a South Carolina Confederate button with it. So the Vanquish is a great machine, and I've used it a lot. Brad says the audio is key for me. I love the sound. I also have the Manicore. So the Xterra Pro is my backup, right? And of course, I've got a few backups there behind me, but I have the Xterra Pro, I have the Vanquish, I have the XPDeus too. I've got a couple of WS6 models, and now I've got the Legend. So I've got a few machines that I use as backups. But again, they're all good machines. It just, it's just taking them out and using them. They'll find anything. Lance Patterson says the Xterra Pro is jumpy, but it is stable on a lot of coins I have tested. Okay, very good, Lance. And I think it, the audio is what I like about it. And I think once it locks in with the target, the audio is always dead on. Again, the ID can be a little bit shaky sometimes, but yes, I think it does very, very well. And I found a ring with mine the first time out with it on the beach as well. So it's good. Bobby Short says it's the expanded VDI that makes the numbers jumpy. Yeah, that could be it, Bobby. That could definitely be it. So thank you for that comment. Michael says, Bobby Short, yes, you may be right about that. Mark Kluss says, very stable. Make It Work says, will the WMO? No, it will not. They have, I don't know why MindLab did that. And I know a lot of you are saying the same thing. Why did they get away from being able to add the Bluetooth headphones? The WMO8, I loved because I used to hook up other headphones to my Equinox and really loved that. And then still, you're still sort of wireless, with the WMO8, but you can't use the WMO8 with the Xterras. You got to have either the ML85s or the headphones that come with the Manicore, which I think they're the ML105s or 110s. I can't remember the number exactly, but it's the ones that come with the Manicore. Lance Peterson says, I've noticed the VDI on the Xterra is jumpy from 3 to 1 inches, but from 3 to 10, it's more stable and steady. Okay. And that could be a depth issue too. You're right, Lance. It could be a depth issue once you get past a certain point. And that's the one thing I pointed out with the Manicore. And I think Sharpshooter and I talked about this as well. And I know Calabash and I have talked about it. I think once you get below a certain point with the Manicore, I think you see that same thing too. And I also think that with the screen on the Manicore, once you get below a certain point, that screen doesn't ID necessarily the way that it ID'd with a more shallower target. The depth tends to not let it ID all that way correctly. So yes, I have noticed that. Bell says, my husband used the Xterra Pro in the Tracy Park. It was about worthless, went back to his days too and started finding stuff. Well, again, it's a $269 machine with a lot of trash. That machine probably is going to struggle. I mean, just know your fans and buts about it. The recovery speed on it only goes to a certain amount, and you need that higher recovery speed. And Bell's, just like we were talking about earlier, you also need those higher frequencies. And in some cases, this machine's definitely going to struggle in some of those parts. Yeah, Bobby says you need the WM for sure. Yeah, Michael says they should have offered a module rather than the headphones on the Manicore. More options that way, definitely. Mark Cluss says I had the 900 now Manicore, and the 900 did seem to have better ID. I like 5 tones on the Manicore. Okay, yeah, and Mark, I would be interested because I don't have that machine right now, the Manicore, and I don't have the 900, but I would be interested to see when you bury a target past a certain depth, does it still hold those IDs? Is it still consistent? If you could let me know on that, I would greatly appreciate it because I think that could be part of the issue with some of that. So, but anyway, let me know, Mark. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for that comment. Ralph Rosema, I have the Knox 600 and the Deus 2. I use the Deus 2 on real trashy sites. I find more stuff. All right. Very good, Ralph. And I don't think anybody in here is going to dispute you as far as the Deus 2 in heavy trash or in heavy iron. It's just the recovery speed or the reactivity speed on the Deus 2 is just phenomenal. And of course, when you hunt in iron, it does an excellent job in any of those spots. So the Deus 2 just shines in that situation. As did the Deus 1. The Deus 1 was an excellent iron machine, and the separation on it is just, to me, just unmatched. Some people, love the Equinox. They think the Equinox was really good at separation, but I always felt like the Deus 2 just had a little bit of advantage over the Equinox when it came to hunting in iron and hunting in heavy trash. I just think it does better. And some people may see different results, but for me, that's what I found. And I thought it worked excellent in heavy trash. So again, I think the Xterra, it's going to be one of the better selling machines just simply for its price point. I think you're going to see a lot of people gravitate to it. If you want to hunt the beach, you want something that you can just go out and you're not going to spend a ton of money. I think you're going to see a lot of people gravitate towards the Xterra. So again, I think you will see that machine take off, and it's going to be one of the better selling machines simply for that fact. Because most machines, and I've said this before, most machines before this machine came out, if you wanted to hunt the beach, you were going to have to spend over $500 at least before you get a machine that you could hunt the beach with. The Vanquish, I think, came out at $499, and it was like one of the first machines. And then you also had the 540, the 440, and the 340. All were multi-frequency machines, and all would hunt the beach. Of course, the problem was they weren't waterproof. That's hard to say. They weren't waterproof. And so with the Xterra being waterproof, and now you got these switchable frequencies, I think that's going to help that machine, and that machine's going to do very, very well. Bell says, has anyone tried the small Knox coil on the Xterra Pro to see if it locks on better? Now, I have seen, I know that I've seen a couple of people using the smaller Coiltech coils to test out with the Xterra, and they seem to be having pretty good results, Bells. I haven't used it myself, but it seems like they were having pretty good results. So I think Paystreak actually did that. So you might even want to just check out his channel and see what he does, even though he digs everything. But again, he was using that smaller Coiltech coil, I believe, on the Xterra in one of his videos. So you might want to just maybe flip over there and check it out. Brad Wilson says, been a little delayed testing the Manicore using what someone is calling freestyling settings that seem to work well. Well, good, Brad. Hey, as long as it's working, that's the main thing. So metal detecting with the CZ kit, I find low sensitivity levels of the XPDeus 2 with low reactivity settings. The depth is unreal and really cleans up the tones. Right. When you're able to lower that reactivity, that's going to help tremendously. So if you can hunt in 0.5 or 1 or even at 0, then it's going to help you out as far as depth goes with the XPDeus 2. So CZ Kid's exactly right. But the problem is that when you run that low, like Michael said, how low do you run sensitivity on Deus 2 CZ Kid? You can still run it pretty low. I've seen people run it into the 80s and still get pretty good depth. And that's, again, that's another thing. Even with 0.5 reactivity or 1 reactivity, that machine's still pretty fast and it can still separate somewhat too. So the reactivity, even lowered down to that low. I know I actually use 1 and 1.5 on the beach, and I get, I get pretty good depth. And I also get, somebody asked me while I was hunting on the beach this past summer, why is your reactivity up that high? Well, you can run that machine with the reactivity up that high, and you can actually swing it a little bit faster on the beach with the reactivity up that high. So you can get away with it, actually. So the Deus 2 is a very, very fast machine. Hello, Fred. Ohio, Fred. Glad to have you in here. Yeah, metal detecting CZ Key. He just confirmed it. He says he runs it all the way down to 80. And I've seen people running it down that low and still get really, really good depth, even running it down to 80. He said Michael Coley will still hit a 10-inch silver half. Did a vid on it. Okay, all right. Awesome, CZ Kid. And I'm going to go check out your other video because I haven't watched it all the way through. I saw bits and pieces of it. Wisco Detect. What's up? Glad to have you in here. He just got back from a fish fry. So Wisco Detect we need a fish fry. We need some fish too here in South Carolina. So what kind of fish do you eat in Wisconsin? That's the other question. So again, the Xterra, the Deus 2, the Legend, all 3 machines are out there right now, and all 3 machines are really, really good. The Xterra, I think, like I said, for the money at $269, you're not going to find a better machine. You're just not. It's just got so much that it offers. Now, for you guys that are hardcore hunters and you hunt in iron and you hunt in trashy parks, you might struggle with that machine. I'm just going to be honest. But for somebody that's a beginner or somebody that really doesn't want to sink a ton of money into the hobby, then the Xterra Pro is going to be a great bargain. And with all those features that they have on that machine, I think it's going to be awesome as well. So again, Xterra Pro, if you know somebody that's looking for a good starter machine or a good machine for somebody that just gets out every now and then, I think that machine is going to be awesome for those people. Somebody really wants to hunt the beach, but they don't want to, break the bank to buy a machine to hunt the beach with. The Xterra Pro is going to be a good deal for that person too as well. So there's just so many options out there, and that's the good thing. Lance Peterson says, I have to get headphones for the Xterra Pro. I heard the Gray Ghost wired will work, but I heard Gray Ghost sold to a new owner and they're not good headphones anymore. Anyone know about it? I have not heard that. So maybe somebody can, somebody in the chat can respond to that. Wisco Detect says perch and cod. All right, perch and cod. So yeah, I love a good fish fry. So awesome, Wisco Detect. I hope you had fun. Yes, Ohio Fred says lake perch and walleye in Ohio. Very good. Dirt Devil Detecting, it will leave money to buy a scoop. Okay, yes, that's exactly right. If you buy it for $269, for sure. Brad says he enjoys the Xterra because it's simple and easy to use. And that's true too. So again, like I keep saying, there are so many options, and we're living in such a great time that you've got all these different machines that you can choose from, whether it be the Xterra Pro, whether it be the Vanquish, whether it be the Legend, whether it be the Equinox. We've got some really, really strong machines on the market right now. So again, and I've got my Xterra over here. You guys, I don't know if everybody's seen the Xterra, but we'll take a quick look at it. And there it is. There it is, compact. My camera's trying to filter in, but there's the 12-inch coil, and you'll notice that coil is very similar to the coil, the LG30 coil on the, not to Legend, but there it is. There's the Xterra, and I like the design of this machine. I like the cam locks. It does feel a little bit nose heavy, and of course I have my camera mount because I was doing some videoing with it the other day. But It does feel a little bit nose heavy. I will say that about it. And the only other thing that I could find that really was just, if I was really nitpicking, it was just the VDI being bouncy. But hey, I found a ring with it the first time I used it. But there it is. There's the Xterra Pro, and I am working on getting another camera so I can show you guys some of these machines and show y'all some of the settings and those types of things. But I'm saving up, so any money that's donated is going to go towards a new camera. I'm working on getting one of the like what Calabash had, but I'm working on getting a camera that I can, flip over to, and I can actually pull up the screen of a metal detector, and we can be zoomed in on it, and we can actually, I can actually go through and show y'all some of the settings and some of the things on some of the different machines. So yeah, I like the green color too, Michael. I think it actually looks really cool with the green color. Definitely. Yes. We finally, yes, I'm not being unbiased. I'm very unbiased. I'm telling the truth. I'm just trying to show you guys all the options and the things that are out there. And again, we got the Legend in the house tonight. And I actually like the new cover too, with the orange buttons. Instead of having to paint it with liquid paper like I've seen some people do. I like the little cover, the little sleeve that goes over it. I like the new carbon graphite shaft on it, and I'm real excited to use the little LG34 coil, which you guys can see there. There's the LG34, and this machine looks really good with this graphite shaft on it, and it feels more lightweight than what it had before. And again, I had it earlier in the summer, and I was not pleased with it. I was going like, dang, this thing is heavy, but they've definitely made a big drop in the weight. I think it weighs, I want to say right around 2.9, between 2.9 and 3, but it's still, it's still got a little bit of weight to it, but it really doesn't feel that bad. It doesn't feel as bad as it felt previously. Yes, the back. I'm with you, Lance. I like the green color with the with the back red light. That is, to me, that is a killer. That's a killer combination. And I like having the little LED light, for whatever that's worth. But I think it's a good looking machine too, and it feels good in your hand. I like the design of it. I like the ergonomics of it, even though the Xterra is a little bit nose heavy. Bells might be able to. Bells, what does your husband think about the weight of that machine? If you're still on here, maybe she can comment to that. So Lance says, I think I may want to try the 11-inch round coil on the Xterra Pro. That would be a good idea, 11-inch for that. Yes. Yeah, I do. I like the cover with those orange buttons. I think it makes it look really good. It looks really cool. And I like the backlight on the Legend too. I mean, it's plenty bright, and you can adjust the brightness of it too. And the only knock that I really have on the Legend right now is the menus. Just the user interface on that machine is just so wonky. That's the only knock I really have on it as far as that part, the aesthetics of it goes. But the the rest of the machine, like I said, I'm going to be testing it, and I think it is good for its price point at $599. It's the best value out there for that price and what you're getting, and having a multi-frequency machine. I think the Legend is, and they've improved it so much that I think it is going to be a pretty good machine moving forward. So definitely. Bill says that he says it's not as bad at all. He has a bad shoulder, so it's not aggravating his shoulder. So that's good. And especially if you could get one of those smaller coils for this machine, if you could get an Equinox coil to switch out with it, I think this machine, the Xterra, I think the Xterra with a smaller coil would definitely be nice. So yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. And I like the compact size. Y'all can see how small this thing compacts to. And so does the Legend. The Legend compacts too to a pretty small size. Let me see if I can compact it to show y'all how small. For you guys that haven't seen the Legend, maybe. I know most of you have, but maybe some of you haven't. So the Legend, there's the Legend fully compact. So you guys can see the Legend too if you haven't seen it compacted. But really small machine. And again, I'm really looking forward to using the 5x9 coil. I think it's going to be a good one. And of course, you guys know I don't have to show the XPDeus compact, but the XPDeus too really compact's really good. Here's the XPDeus 2 with the 11-inch coil. You guys can see that. And that's fully compact too. But it's it's good to see that a lot of these machines too have gone to the cam locks, and I like the cam lock. I'm really not a big fan of the Manicore, the way they have their locking mechanism on the Manicore, because that shaft it can move around on you. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that, but the Manicore shaft and the way it compacts, you have to actually line it up when you actually pull it down, and it will move on you if you're not careful. So again, I'm not a big fan of that from the Manicore. Yeah, there's been a lot of videos showing the Legend underwater. I don't think they've had any leaking issues either, as far as I know. They haven't. Yeah, Bobby Short says Minelab should have put a triangular shaft on that Manicore and the Equinox. I agree, Bobby. I like the triangular shaft, or that sort of square shaft to it that sort of comes to a point. I think those work very, very well. So, but all these machines, they're compact. You can throw them in the back of a car. You can hook them to a backpack. You can go and do all these different things. So you got the XPDeus 2, real simple, lightweight, hooked together, go out and go. You've got the Legend, here, really compact, fold it up, hook it onto a backpack, throw it in the back of your truck, and you can go. And then you got the Xterra, really compact, folded up, same thing. So they've really come a long way in design and making these machines really, really good. So Michael says, I don't like the round shafts. I don't either. I do not. And that Manicore round shaft is one that I'm not a big fan of. Yes, please hit that like button, guys. I need it. Definitely. I'm trying to get this algorithm up. So thank y'all so much. Yes, I've heard the Legend speaker water logs. Has that been addressed? I think that they put sort of like a different membrane on the inside of that speaker from what I was told. Now, I don't know. That's just something that I've heard. I don't know if that's true, but I've heard that, and they've tried to make it where it's better, but I don't know that for sure, Randon. So don't hold me to that. But I think that was the rumor or what was being said out there. Now, have they come out and said that? I don't know. Like I said, I just got this Legend, and I haven't paid attention really to the Legend really since last summer, because of I just used it for a little while, and I just didn't like it because it was so dang heavy. And I just knew that wasn't going to be the machine for me. But now that they've updated it, I'm willing to give it another shot. And they sent me one, and they said, hey, test it, use it, talk about it. And I said, okay, I'll be glad to do that. And but from what I've seen, I really like what I've seen on the improvements. Is the XP lower shaft out yet? Which lower shaft are you talking about? You talking about the carbon fiber for the 13-inch coil, or is that what you're talking about, CZ Kid? Yes. What's up, Tech? Is it Techie Digger or Techie Ridge Digger from Southeast Louisiana? Glad to have you in here. CZ Bell says CZ it's through Detect Dead. Yeah, I know Detect Dead has released some carbon fiber shafts that you can buy aftermarket to put on these. I think Iffy has one. I do not have one of the new carbon fiber from Detected or Steve's rods. I haven't used one of those yet. Right. Thank you, Techie Ridge. We appreciate it. Keep up the good work. Thank y'all so much. Dirt Devil Detecting. Has anyone experienced with Steve Detective's rod carbon fiber for the Deus 2? I believe his shaft is round 2. It is, and I've actually seen that shaft. If you go check out my dig stock video that I did when I was at dig stock with the XP team, I actually interview a guy that actually had the Steve Detective rods, and you have to do the same thing. You got to line that thing up, and I'm just not a big fan of that with it being round like that. So Lance says someone needs to make a metal detector that runs off of solar power. I agree, Lance. That would be nice. It just charges up on itself, so that would be really good. Or fusion power. I agree. Very good. But you can swing. You can't swing at 88 miles per hour. That's true. Michael Coley says he likes the Detected lower shafts for the Deus 2 light and stiffer. Yeah, Michael got one because Michael is a very, very tall guy, and he got one. And I think he's had a lot of good luck and good success with the lighter and stiffer shafts. So, yeah, the Detected shafts, Detected makes really good stuff. I know Steve's shaft is a good shaft. I'm just not a big fan of that design, but I'm the guy that had it. Swears by it, loves it, and but he did have to buy a counterweight for it. I found that sort of interesting that he had to buy a counterweight. So whatever that's worth. But I do know some people that do have those as well. Metal Detecting was I use Steve shaft with X, really nice. Okay, hey, do you have the counterweight, CZ Kid? I'm just curious. Jay says, my 13-inch XP field coil came with plastic sash, so just got one from Detected. It's great. Okay, awesome, Jay Strongbow. XP has made a solar charger. There you go. That's straight from TN Sharpshooter. Outhouse Otis, glad to have you in here, Outhouse. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. I know I caught you last night over in Ohio River history, so glad to have you on board. Thank you. Wisco Detect, I'm just waiting for the 3D scanner, but I'll make custom parts for whatever you need. All right, Wisco. So there you go. Wisco says he'll make some 3D parts for us. Digging Daryl says, I got the Steve rods. I really like it. It's got the counterweight to help offset the weight for the larger coil. Digging Daryl, do you find it heavy at all? That's the main question I had for that. And the only thing I didn't like again is that design where you have to sort of straighten your coil out with everything else. So, right. Outhouse Otis is in here. He said, hey, ZZ Kid. Appreciate it, Outhouse Otis. No problem. Glad to be part of the channel. Yeah, and we have a great group over here too. So we're glad you're over here with us. We appreciate you being here. Why don't the folks make bigger coils, also supply matching counterweight as an accessory? Yeah, that would be a great idea. When they make those huge, large coils. And I've got the 13 and the 11-inch. I love the 11. I mean, I've used the 13 out on the beach, and I use it with the WS6. And that's another thing too, since we're still running. Let's talk a little bit about. I'm gonna grab another machine here. Let's talk about the WS6 for a minute. So here's the 13. You guys can see it there, but this is the 13 with the WS6, and this is probably the lightest setup that you can possibly get. And of course, you can take the puck off. You guys know that, and you can take that puck off. And now, see, I've got the WS6 puck off, and now all you have is the rod and the coil, and you can make this thing pretty light. For you guys that did not know that, and you can ride on the beach and you can swing. And it really takes the weight down considerably. So CZ Kid says that he doesn't have the counterweight. Steve was able to move the weight to the rear of his carbon shaft, but to stay within the 0.5 ounce of factory shaft, you do not find it heavy. Okay, thank you, CZ Kid. So there you go. So CZ Kid's got one of those, and Digging Daryl says it is heavier, but the counterweight makes a huge difference. Okay, there you go. All right. CL Molnar says, I have Steve's shaft, no counterweight. Only complaints are the fact that it's round. Right. And that's the way I am too. It's slightly longer than the stock shaft when collapsed. Other than that, I really like it. Well, good. Awesome. Outhouse Otis says, on a long hunt, I have those portable charger sticks. I can use rubber bands to hold it to the shaft and charge my legend while swinging. And one thing I will say is that if you buy that Pro Pack from Nokta Macro, it does come with an external battery, and I have it back there. I think it's still in the box, but of course that external battery is really heavy, so you're just adding weight to it. But if you did have to use it, it is available if you buy the Pro Pack of the Legend. So there you go. CL Molnar says, Steve's locking mount is a definite upgrade, as well as shifting the remote forward slightly. It reduces the strain on your hand to press the buttons. All right. Awesome. Awesome. What's up, John? Glad to have you in here. John Brantley in the house. And John, we know who you are. What's up? And Lance Patterson says, sweet Outhouse Otis. That's the bee's knees. Very good. Thanks, Lance. And Teach, be careful when you say take the puck off. I didn't even think of that, but yeah, you're right. Jay Strongbow says, hey, I run the WS6 on my wrist tech with the lightweight shaft and 9-inch coil and carbon mower. Swinging a coil on a shaft, easy swinging all day for an old guy like me, right? And I'm not a young guy either, Jay Strongbow, so I'll take any little bit I can get. And that's, again, I know I'm talking about the Deus 2 here, but the Deus 2, because of its lightweight, it does allow you to be able to get into places and swing it in places maybe that you didn't get to. And then also out on the beach, beach hunting sometimes can be a very long and excruciating thing. And you don't want to be out there just, swinging something that's just tearing your shoulder apart or tearing your elbow apart. And I really, really, really love that WS6 with that 13-inch. I love that setup. That setup is, to me, one of the best setups out there for the beach. And again, if we get our update, I think it's going to be even more remarkable, I think. Yes, hit that like button if you haven't already. I appreciate it. Wisco Detect, thank you so much for reminding me. We got 32 likes. We got 39 people in here, 37. We see some people dropping out. But yes, hit that like button if you haven't already. I appreciate it. Dirt Devil Detecting, peace out all. Have a great night. Always a pleasure. I will check the email. Thank you for being here, Dirt Devil Detecting. I appreciate you. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, and Outhouse Otis says take care. Yeah, we got to fix that math. Yeah, we got to get more people in here hitting that like button. But we're sharing some great information. And, one thing that I do love about doing these live streams is that there's just so many knowledgeable people who come in here and they are a part of it every night. And I appreciate you guys so much, being here and being a part of our group. And like I said, I love everybody in here because everybody's so knowledgeable and they share information. And that's what this is all about. And that's what I try to make my channel about, is sharing information, sharing finds, talking with you guys about detectors, what I'm seeing from these detectors, showing you these detectors, and giving you as much information as I can possibly hand out, as well as all the people in here handing out information. And we got so many people in here that are very, very, very smart. Yes, Michael, thank you so much. Tennessee Sharpshooters just signing off. And yes, thank y'all. So it's almost, we've been on here for about an hour and 20 minutes. I guess we're going to sign off then. So does anybody have something else they would like to add to tonight, or something that you guys would like to share? I know we've got, we still got 42 people in here, so that's a good number. Yeah, and again, we're trying to share as much information as we can. Calabash, when he and I are together, that's the one thing we said that we were going to try to do, is to try to help people and to give as much information as we can about machines, about tips that we've used, about you know, different features for things. Those are the types. That's what I want this channel to be about, and that's what Calabash wants his channel to be more so about, and so on. So we're trying to share as much as we can with everybody in here. And again, we've got so many knowledgeable people who show up every Friday night to be part of this, and that just makes my job a lot easier on here. So, and I enjoy chatting with you guys. Yes. John Brantley says, I saw a video that Super Freak made that he was showing a bottle cap killing a ring and a coin. Anyone else see that? Thought T and Sharpshooter has shown it still picking up the coin and ring with the bottle cap. Which machine was that, John? I haven't seen that video. So yes, Calabash has an awesome channel full of knowledge and info. And most of you guys know, Otis may not know this, but Calabash and we've been hunting partners for 7 years. So we've been together for a good long time, but Calabash does a really, really good job. So is there a good book on the Deus 2 that explains each function and what it does that affects of each? I don't know if there's not really a said book. I know Sabish has a book out there. I don't know that it really goes into all of that, Ohio Fred. My suggestion would be is to watch some of the more knowledgeable YouTube guys out there and try to learn as much as you can from them, or ask questions in here. When we're doing chat, if you got a question about, adjusting this or that, Sharpshooter, Michael Coley, who's in here, is also very knowledgeable. Calabash, of course, is very knowledgeable, and myself, and Iffy Signals. I mean, just ask questions. That's the best way. That's the best way to find out about a lot of it. So that's generally the way that I go about finding out a lot of things too. So, right. Thank you, Bells. I appreciate it. John says he is talking about the Deus 2. So, yeah, I mean, you can knock out those bottle caps. You can up that bottle cap reject. I'll have to go check out that video though, John. So thanks for letting me know. I really appreciate that. Yes, it is a great community. Aggie Hall says, my first live stream of yours, very enjoyable to listen. Thank you so much. We just have so many great people in here. It just, and time flies too. I mean, it's hard to believe I've been on here for over an hour right now. So again, appreciate you being here, Aggie Hall. Ricky Bennett says, thanks, Brian. Good education with no bull. Love these live streams. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yes. Scott, Mental Metal is one of my good friends. He does a great job. Iffy also, all of those guys put up really good videos, and they put up very informative videos as well. So Jay is exactly right. And both of those guys are good friends of mine too, by the way. So I always love referring their channels. So really, really, really good guys. All right, guys. Well, it's been 1 hour and 22. I think I'm getting ready to sign off, and I'm getting ready for a hunt tomorrow. I hope all of you guys get out and have a fantastic weekend. Find some great things. Please, if you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button. Check out my channel. We've got some really cool content coming. You are going to see some videos with the legend, so you guys can check that out. My Vanquish over there is getting lonely. Well, let's bring the Vanquish over here. So here's the Vanquish. So there's my 540. The only problem I got right now is I took my arm strap off, and I got to get a new arm strap. And my headphones, I let Calabash take this down to the beach, and he got my headphones wet. So I don't have a pair of ML80 headphones for this. So again, hopefully I'll get a pair of headphones and I can start using the Vanquish again. But the Vanquish 540, and I have the 10-inch coil on the Vanquish 540 for you guys that wanted to know about the Vanquish 540. But I had the 10-inch on there, but I also have the small coil as well, the elliptical. So yes, we're going to be out tomorrow. Me and Michael are going to be out on a hunt. So hopefully we'll have some video to bring for you guys. We're going to be using the Legend. We're going to be using the Deus 2. We're going to be using Sharpshooter's sweeper program is what I call it, because it just cleans up everything. So we're going to be using both of those tomorrow in our hunt. So again, I hope all of you have a wonderful weekend. Your pouches are full with funds, and I look forward to bringing you another live stream. We may have one midweek, so stay tuned for that. And we'll also have one again at the end of next week on Friday. So check us out then, and hopefully we'll have a lot of cool things to talk about. Maybe XP will release the update, and we'll have a lot of that to talk about as well. So again, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for those of you that donated money tonight. Again, all of those donations go back to cameras, coils, all the things that I use on my videos and on my hunts. So I really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you guys again real soon. Take care. Have a great night. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will catch you guys really, really soon. Take care, guys. We'll see you.